off on your ex, he deserved it. I thought you would've won from the jump, that confirmed it. Trap money.
Hey, it's your girl, Adrienne. Excuse me. And, and I am back once again. That was so gross. Oh my God, that was so gross. Yo, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But today, I want to have a little story time with you guys. And I just want to say, you guys get to see me uncut. I mean, look at my hair. Look at me. Do I look like a video, a put together video right now? No, I don't lay my edges down. I don't wrap my hair. Roll my hair. Look, you guys are seeing me raw, uncut, live, and in action, okay, baby? You're seeing me. And you see this nail? I still can't get it off. I still can't get this nail off my finger. Look at it. Let's look at it. This is the only one. All the other ones are gone, except for that one. Like, this one is like literally the worst. I'm gonna get it off though. I'm gonna get it off. I swear I am. So, even though this is not gonna be the best story, because it's gonna be a little emotional, basically the story title is When Everything Went Wrong. Okay, so I was about 11, maybe 10, right? And my mom was diagnosed with cancer. Okay, and you know, as a kid, we didn't know. You know, they didn't say, "Oh, your mom has cancer." We didn't know anything. We just knew that one day she was bleeding continuously, wouldn't stop. We had to go to our next door neighbor house, and she was hauled off in an ambulance. Okay, and for me, I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I just need to stay calm because I don't want my brother to trip out. Because I was 11 and my brother is 3 years younger than me. I think I was 10 or 11. So my brother is like 8 or 7 at the time. And so I'm like, no, we don't know what's going on, right? So around this time, I was fighting a lot in school, getting in trouble, suspended. Like, I was really cutting up. Why? Because I was missing my mom. My mom was in the hospital, so I was, excuse me, oh my goodness. I don't know what it is. I think it's the ice cream. So, all I know is that my mom's not here. I'm angry. It's time for me to cut out. And I actually got into a fight, which suspended me. And when my mom found out, and I went to go see her, she was not happy. She was not happy. She was hollering, screaming at me. And I was crying because I was like, I thought she was about to whip my tail in that hospital while she was in that bed. Okay? My mom's beatings are no joke. No joke. I ran away from a beating once. Baby. After she caught me, that was the worst beating I ever had, and I never ran again. I just stood there like a strong woman and I took it. Beating. Every time after that, I just took the beating. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna run. Okay. I took it. I wasn't having that because she hit hard. She hit real hard. Really. Oh, Jesus. I kicked it. Sorry. She hits really hard. Okay? And I got into a fight because this girl, I was walking up the street. I had been arguing with this girl all day in school because I was on the Trinidad campus over there by Montello Avenue. I don't know if y'all know where that's at, but I was going to Trinidad campus. I had been arguing with this girl all day, like all day. She been getting on my nerves. And I was like, I'm trying not to say nothing else, but you try like making me mad. And you know, back then Jonah is still a really, really big deal now, but no. Back then, you joned on me, I felt like you were trying to bully me. So I had a lot to say. And, you know, we all had uniforms. We all had to wear these shorts or a skirt with these Michael Jackson shoes, these ties, and a polo shirt. So I had been arguing with her all day. I was like, you know what? I'm about to walk home, walk to that corner store, give me an Arizona or Sour Patch Kids or something, and I'm going in the house. So I'm walking up the hill because the school is like, so the school is on the right hand side. Okay, I'm walking up the hill, make a left to keep going up the hill to go straight to my house. As I'm walking, as I'm walking, somebody is running behind me, calling my name, Adrian, like running straight behind me, and I'm like, what? And it was one of my guy friends. And I'm like, what's good? Like, what's up? He like, oh, she just called you the B word. I said, who called me the B word? They was like, no, she called your mother. So I thought they said she called me the B word. But he was like, she called your mother the B word. She called your mother the B word. Who called my mother the B word? Mind you, my mother was in the hospital at the time. And I had not seen her for almost 3 months now. So I'm angry. So I'm like, who called my mother the B word? And they like, I forgot the girl name. I think it started with a C. They like, her down there, and yeah, the girl you was arguing with today, she called your mother the B word. So I'm like, what? Whew. Dropped all my stuff. I had backpack on and I had a sweater on. I dropped all that, just dropped it. And I ran. I took off like, pew, down the hill. I was fast back then. I ain't that fast now, but I was fast back then. Pew, down the hill. I'm like, what? What you say about my mother? What you say about my mother? Boop. One good hit, right? So we on the ground. She pulling on my hair like this. She doing like this to me. So to me, this not hurting. You can do this. You can beat on my head. That doesn't hurt me. But I'm like hitting her, smooth in the face, like just crashing her. Her brother jumps on my back. Okay, first of all, I was not trying to hurt that little boy. But he had no business jumping on me like that. He jumps on my back, and I took him over with her. I said, whew, dropped him right on top of her. And I dogged both of them, stomping them, punching them, everything. And once I was finished, because they were still laying down, I hurried up and got home because I was already late getting back in the house. My aunt and my sister was in there. My aunt, she was like, oh, she knew something was up because normally I get home at the same time every day. Probably a couple minutes later because I stopped at the store, but I always got home at the same time almost every day. So my aunt, like, she knew something was already happening. Like, she knew something was up. I got home, I was looking rough, okay? I had my sweater hanging off right here, my backpack hanging right here, and I'm just like, gone, you know? I'm like, I was mad, I was blown, I was peed off, okay? And I just remember, like, around that time when my mom was sick, I was the devil, okay? I was horrible. I ain't gonna lie, it was real bad. And my mom passed 2011, April the 7th, I believe. And that day, I was at school. And both of my aunts was in the car. They had came and got me. See, I knew something was up though. Like, cause I knew something was kind of weird because Aunt Noli, I'm like, what's she doing here from Virginia? Like, she was way down in Virginia at the time. Like, I think she was living in Fredericksburg. So I'm like, what is my aunt doing all the way up here, right? And my other aunt, Renika, she was sitting in the car, in the passenger seat. And I'm walking up the hill and I see them and I'm like, oh my God, it's Aunt Noli. Hi, Aunt Noli. Because that's one of my favorite aunts. I ain't gonna hold you. I used to go to her every summer and play with my cousin all the time. Like, we had so much fun. She had a nice big house. We used to be in the basement just playing, running around. But I see them and I'm like, oh, my family's here. What we about to do? I hop in the car. They're like, okay, we about to go see your mom. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I ain't seen my mom in like 5 months. I want to see her. Like, what's good? So I get there and everything's like real quiet, right? Really, 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 really quiet. And like, I think I went to go sit in the chapel because, you know, I don't know if she was in like a nursing home. I don't know where she was at. I can't remember the exact place, but it did have a chapel in it because I was sitting in there. And I'm just waiting, just waiting. I'm like, dang, when I'm going to go see my mother? So somebody comes and I can't remember who came and got me, but somebody came and got me. And they told me, they was like, she gone. I said, who gone? Like, what y'all talking about? Like, who? And that day, I was literally the worst day of my life. My heart dropped, okay? Like, dropped. Literally out of my chest, down, and out. It was gone, okay? Stunned. I wasn't crying up until, like, I actually got in the room and I saw her and I removed myself. I remember when I left, it was me, my sister, and my aunt. We was all in the bathroom, crying our eyes out. I mean, crying. Oh my God. I was like, this cannot be for real. Like, this cannot be serious. Like, I haven't seen my mother in almost 5 months. Or probably not 5, probably like 3, but it felt like that. And I'm like, yo, this ain't real. This is not real, okay? But it was. And I mean, I cried, and 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 I cried. And like, even to this day, sometimes when I think about her, I still tear up, Try not to cry on camera because, I don't want nobody's pity. I don't want nobody, feeling sorry for me because even though she did pass, I got to meet new people in my life because I had to move. And those people are really good friends. I met a whole lot of good people after I moved to Clinton. But I mean, that day was like the worst day of my life. I never forget it. Never forget it. And I felt like I knew something was wrong. Like I felt like she was already, like she might have been gone. Why? Because when I got in the car, when they first came and got me, Renika was acting a little sus. She was sitting in the front seat, quiet. And I could hear her doing like this. So I'm like, something ain't right. And then Aunt Noli was here from Fredericksburg. Nah, man. I was like, yeah, something ain't right. Something ain't right. I mean, Lord, that day. All I can remember was running out of that room, going in. When I saw her, I ran smooth out. I couldn't even stand that long. I was in the bathroom just crying my eyes out. Like, it's crazy that somebody could be taken from you just like that. You know what I'm saying? And it was like deja vu because my grandmother passed in 2015, literally, or was it 2017? No, I think it was 2015. It was like a couple days after Christmas. I was on my way to see her. It was me, my sister, my brother, my cousin, my aunt, and my nephew. We were all on the bus going on our way to see her. What's crazy is I felt like God didn't want us to be at that nursing home at that time. And that's why when we got on that bus, we were going the wrong way. Because when we realized we was going the wrong way, we turned around, we waited on the bus for the lady to, go back towards the other route where the actual nursing home was. And my uncle called. I don't know if he called my aunt or my sister, but he called one of them. And I do believe it was my aunt because she was sitting on the phone and she wasn't saying nothing. She wasn't saying nothing. I mean, that's her mom, so she was just as stunned as we all were. But me and my grandmother were like this. Like this. You think my mom passing hurt me? My grandmother hurt me the most. We were like this. Nothing could break us up. Nothing. And when we got there, I saw her like that. I was hurt. I was hurting, boy, was I hurting. I really was. Because the first time I went to go see her, she had a stroke, and so she couldn't talk. Her eyes wasn't open. I walked in that room, and I started talking. She started making a noise. So I knew that she knew it was me. And she was like, She was trying to talk. And it's not funny, but like, I knew that she knew who I was. So the moment I started talking, she was like moving around, making noise. I was like, she's here. She's still here. But that day when we found out that she was gone, man, it was like my mom 2 times over. Because I was deeply hurt. Like, I was deeply hurt when my mom passed, but I was deeply hurt when my grandmother passed. It was like, it happened like this, so fast, back to back. Like, and you know how some people say that when people pass away, it's because, you got something new coming. Then Harmony came. Harmony was here. When my mom passed, Harmony came. So I was like, it's okay. I got a cousin out of it, and I got to move to Clinton. I met 2 of my best friends and more other friends that I care about. But it was never the same, But things happen for a reason. I feel like maybe it was time for us to be in Clinton, get out of the hood. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was living in the suburbs. It felt like it's nothing to do out there. Like, literally, it's nothing to do out there. Like, nothing. There's nothing in the area. It's a quarter sack, right? There's no playground in the quarter sack. There's nothing. And everything, not walking distance. Maybe the grocery store, the shoppers, is walking distance. But walking to school, woo, boy, I was tired. But around that time, I was trying to get myself together because I was in the marching band, so I was getting in shape. I was walking up those hills, like running up them hills too, sweating and everything. But this is not in the morning. I never did that. This was like, I go home because I forgot my clothes or something. So I go home and change, and I run up that hill so I can hurry him get to practice. Cause my grandfather, he was real strict. You know, he didn't want to drive me up there. But then he'll see me running up the hill, and he'll beep his horn at me. He'll be like, "Get in the car. I'll take you up there." I been wanted you to take me up there when I was at the house. What you waiting on for now? You ain't see me run up this hill. I'm tired. I was a big girl. I was a true big girl, but I was always down to get my body right. But you know, those were my 2 turning points. I had to see a therapist and everything. I mean, they thought I was crazy. I ain't crazy. I was just grieving. I was emotional. You know, when you lose people back to back, that stuff is traumatizing. It really is. Especially 2 people that you care about like that. Like, I couldn't even imagine losing my mom, my grandmother, and then on top of that, well, thank you God that my sister is still here, and God forbid that he take her right now. But I'm saying at the time, could you imagine if I would have lost my mom, my grandmother, and my sister? Boy, they would have really thought I was crazy. I would be fighting everything. I would have been hurting everyone. I would have been failing. Like, I would have been going downhill. But once I started seeing that therapist, and I started to talk about my feelings, and, you know, finally started to get over the grief, it got better for me. I'm telling you, therapy works. Y'all should try it. You should try it. You know, you'd be surprised at what you gain out of it. You'd be real surprised. But yeah, those 2 times were when everything went wrong for me. You know, I was going through it. It went wrong, but then it got better. It got better. And those two moments made me stronger. It really has. I'm a much better person now. I'm not as vulnerable, and I'm not scared to talk about my feelings. I don't like crying in front of people, but I'm not scared to tell you how I feel. Why? Because if I hold that in, that aggression will start to build, and that's when unwanted anger is released. And that's not the person I want to be. But that is all for story time with me.